welcome to the DR Sports Transfer Show, where we're going to be covering the latest news, rumours and everything else from the football world. Is your club going to get an Ornstein bomb? How many here we goes are we going to hear from Fabrizio Romano this January? Make sure to stay tuned. Yes, people, welcome back to DR Sports Transfers, where we're breaking down all the latest news every single day of this January transfer window. And the big breaking news today, on Tuesday the 6th of January, is that Rosenior has been confirmed as Chelsea's new manager. Now, Rosenior has signed a 6-year contract with Chelsea. We all know how Chelsea are with contracts. It's a 6-year deal until 2032, and Chelsea have been very strong in what they feel Rosenior will bring to Chelsea. So in their official statement, they said, Liam has shown he can build teams with a clear way of playing while setting the highest standards with the players on and off the pitch. While there continues to be a focus on player development, the club's expectations and ambitions remain high. Liam has the ability to get the best out of this squad quickly and joins us with the responsibility and the backing to ensure Chelsea continues to compete at the top level in all competitions this season and seasons to come. So we all know Rosenior was joining Chelsea from a few days ago. He confirmed it yesterday in a press conference, and the whole situation has been, from minute one, he's been the senior guy. He flew to London the other day, had his talks, and now he is confirmed as Chelsea boss. It's believed that the current guy, Callum McFarlane, will take over for the club's next game, but Rosenior will be with the dressing room soon and is probably going to be at Stamford Bridge as soon as possible. But elsewhere, Marc Guehi, everyone thought he was going to Liverpool. Everyone thought he was going to Liverpool last summer. He was in the kit. He did the interviews. The here we go was there from Fabrizio Romano, but he stayed at Crystal Palace. And now everyone's been thinking it's a dead cert for either in January or the summer that he still goes to Liverpool, but Manchester City have entered the race in January. So Guardiola has suffered a significant injury in his knee. And so what Palace have done, they have decided they want to sign Marc Guehi in January. So according to Fabrizio Romano, they have made an initial approach to sign Marc Guehi this month, with Patrick Berger, German journalist, saying that Man City are already in direct talks for the player. Man City, reportedly, according to Ben Jacobs, would only be interested in Marc Guehi at a lower price than the £35 million Crystal Palace agreed with Liverpool in the summer. Man City are yet to make a formal inquiry for the centre-back, according to Ben Jacobs. So possibly a bit of, mixed information there. But Guehi is reportedly content at Palace with a view towards a strong chance of being a starter with England at the World Cup. And obviously, as we know, at Man City, you are never guaranteed a first-team place. But I think we all know Manchester City need a new centre-back, especially with Gvardiol's new injury. So do keep an eye on this one. I'd say this is a 7 out of 10 chance of potentially going through if Man City can agree a fee with Crystal Palace, because they are challenging for the Premier League title this season. I'm sure that Guehi went to Liverpool or wanted to go to Liverpool with the idea of trying to win the Premier League this season. So that's definitely, especially with Semenyo moving there as well, definitely one to watch in the next few weeks. But sticking on Crystal Palace, Adam Wharton is another player who is of interest to pretty much every single big club in the Premier League. And according to AS in Spain, Real Madrid are also in the race. According to the information, Real Madrid look to set to rival Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City and Manchester United for the 21-year-old England midfielder. Although they said this is meant to be in the summer. Adam Wharton to Real Madrid. I'm not sure what rating I'd give that. Probably slightly less, because there are mixed reports. There are other reports saying that there are other targets Real Madrid also have. But Adam Wharton is almost certainly set 10 out of 10 to be a big name in the transfer window, particularly if he has a fantastic World Cup with England. And with English players as well, there is also news coming out about the potential of Marcus Rashford to return to Manchester United. So, Ruben Amorim was sacked on Monday morning, and Ruben Amorim was the main reason that Marcus Rashford left Manchester United in the first place. He's currently on loan with Barcelona, and according to the Mirror, Ruben Amorim's sacking gives Marcus Rashford the possibility of coming back to Old Trafford, of rejoining Manchester United following his loan at Barcelona. But having done some research on this myself, there is no recall clause for Marcus Rashford to join United again in January. United did not have a recall clause, but there is also no penalty fee for Barcelona if they do not sign him in the summer. They have a £26 million option to buy, but they're not yet committed to it. According to all the sources around Barcelona, the reports are saying that they will make their decision in the summer, whether or not to keep him. But 7 goals and 11 assists in 25 appearances. He's been fantastic there. And I'm no doubt United as well, especially depending on who is appointed as their new permanent manager, would welcome back Marcus Rashford because they're looking for an attacker. And then in terms of who United are looking to bring in, an early candidate, according to the Telegraph, is Oliver Glasner from Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner's contract is set to be up this summer, with there being no signs of him signing a new deal at Crystal Palace. Continuing contentions between him and the owner, CEO Steve Parish. So Oliver Glasner looks like a main and early contender, especially because Christopher Vival, who is United's director of recruitment, is said to be a big fan of the manager. But he's not the only one. According to The Sun, Fulham are also preparing for Manchester United to approach them for Marco Silva, or to approach Marco Silva directly, because Marco Silva's contract is up in 2026 at the end of this summer, just like Oliver Glasner's. And Marco Silva is also someone who Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when they were hiring after Eric Ten Hag sacking, or thinking in 2024 that they might get rid of Eric Ten Hag, he was a name on the list. He was someone that United spoke to. So that is another one to keep an eye out on. I don't think Marco Silva to Manchester United will get such a high rating. Maybe I'd put that maybe at 4 at the moment. But Oliver Glasner, obviously, as someone who's done so well in the Premier League in the last few seasons with Crystal Palace, will no doubt be high on United's list. So I'd give that more of a 6 or a 7 out of 10 and focus on that. Meanwhile, up in Liverpool, with Marc Guehi potentially going to Man City, they are also potentially, according to reports in Italy, negotiating with Juventus for a loan move for Federico Chiesa. The 20-year-old Italy forward is open to a return to the Serie A club where he spent 2 seasons between 2022 and 2024, according to La Gazzetta dello Sport. And after playing 34 games in a season and a half so far for Liverpool since he joined, and he's played 20 times this season, but has only made 1 Premier League start under Slot, everyone knows the situation between Chiesa and Slot. It looks like this could be genuinely something to happen, especially with Mo Salah reportedly set to stay at Liverpool and solving his differences with Slot and with the club, and waiting until, making his future more concrete in the summer to see what's going on there. But Chiesa reportedly in talks with Juventus, and Liverpool in talks with Juventus over a loan move for him to return to the old lady club in Turin. And meanwhile, further down the table, Nottingham Forest head of football, Edu, formerly of Arsenal, faces doubts over his long-term position at the club due to their continuing endurance in a turbulent season. So Forest sits 17th with just 18 points so far this season, 4 points off the relegation zone, and losing their last 4 games under Sean Dyche, who is already, as we all know, their 3rd manager this season. They had Nuno, who fell out with Edu and others over transfers in the summer and eventually got sacked. Then they had Ange Postecoglou, who pocketed 7 million from the club, despite being there for just over 30 days. And now they've got Sean Dyche, who's trying to keep them up and is, doing his best. But Edu himself is already under significant pressure and could be gone in the next few games, potentially if results don't improve or he doesn't show a plan and a clear path to bringing Forest back to where they were last season, competing for European places or potentially going far in the Europa League that they currently have. And meanwhile, AC Milan are currently monitoring the situation of Nathan Ake from Manchester City, as they ponder several different options, although Ake has already rejected proposals from other Premier League clubs such as West Ham and wants to stay at Man City. Raheem Sterling looks to be trying to secure a way out of Chelsea in January, and Newcastle are the latest club to express some interest in him, according to Football Insider. That could be one that we see develop towards the end of the window, because Raheem Sterling wants out of Chelsea, but I'm sure he will first sit down with Liam Rosenior, where Liam Rosenior will assess all his options, see maybe Sterling comes back into the fold, or maybe they decide it's too far gone and he should go. But that is definitely one to look at towards the end of the window. And finally, England forward Callum Wilson, obviously age 33 now, joined West Ham in the summer, but he is apparently already in talks to end his West Ham contract after just 5 months at the club. Maybe it's not working under him and Nuno Espirito Santo, because obviously Nuno came in after Wilson had signed. He's not playing lots of football with them, and maybe he feels there are better opportunities elsewhere out there for him, such as, when Calvert-Lewin has been doing a fantastic job at Leeds. Potentially Wilson feels like towards the end of his contract, there is another club, maybe in the Championship or even abroad, that he could be better contributing to. But there is plenty going on already in the opening few days of the transfer window. It's been almost a week. Only 6 days in, Ruben Amorim's gone, Maresca's gone, new managers, new plans being made. Second half of the season is upon us. There's 18 Premier League games left, plus the FA Cup kicks off in just a few days, just a few weeks' time, actually. This weekend, funnily enough. kicks off this weekend. So make sure to be here on DR Sports every morning of the week to break down all the latest transfer news with me, Dylan. Apart from that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon.